Sexually transmitted diseases and young people. What is a sexually transmitted disease and what is the issue? The alarming issue about STDs among young people is the increasing rates of infection within the youth community due to their decision to practice unsafe sex and the lack of condom use. Sexually transmitted diseases are infections transmitted from one person to another who carries the infection, transmitting it during sex or any intimate touching. Infections include chlamydia, genital herpes, HIV and AIDS, syphilis, genital warts, gonorrhea, and hepatitis B. In Australia, who is most likely to be exposed to STDs? Commonly, STDs are exposed to young adults aged under the age of 29 that are only starting to explore sex and contraception. As a result, there is a high number of unprotected sex, and as a consequence, STDs are emerging. Since 2011, the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare had reported a trend of chlamydia rates, slowly increasing till 2016, when there was a peak of 385 infections per 100,000 people. The rate for 2017 was slightly lower than 2016, at 379 infections per 100,000 people. Australian youth. Young people can be defined as adolescents aged 15 to 24 that encompass growth and coming of age. Commonly, young adults study, work, attend leisure activities, and work towards their future. However, this is also a time of their lives where they may feel high levels of stress, boredom, or anxiety over friendships, relationships, workload, and their sense of identity. In Australia, there are 4 million youths, 2 million young men, and 1.9 million young women. Youth make up 1/5 of the entire Australian population. Socially, gender and sexuality define adolescence. These are young people to build a sense of identity built from the values around these social groups. Social groups such as masculinity, feminism, and the LGBTQI community. STD statistics. In a report by the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, the researchers found that in 2018, 66,449 cases of STIs were Australian females aged 15 to 39, and 84,436 cases of reported STIs were Australian males aged 20 to 39. The data provided by the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare shows the contrasting results within young men and women, therefore supports the alarming issue of STDs rising at a substantial number within our young people's community. Social determinants. Social determinants of health encompasses young people and STDs to a large extent, and can impact their living conditions, directly influencing the adolescent's health and population. Factors that are impacted are social factors. Youth can be scared to discuss with friends or family members due to the fear of being ridiculed as a result, scared to go to the doctor because they may feel ashamed, or friendships and relationships may be jeopardized. Socially, STDs can be spread socially if engaged in skin-to-skin contact by sharing utensils or makeup products. Also, shared through sharps can also contain bacteria or bodily fluids of one who is contaminated by the STD. Overall, STDs can be long-term if left untreated, or it can be treated and cured. Cultural factors. More specific, culturally and linguistically diverse youths have a limited access to healthcare services, impacting their health outcome. Example, in a report by Ethnic Communities Council of Victoria, 70% of international students claim their health insurance within the first 12 months of arrival, do so after pregnancy-related treatment, have language barriers, and may feel embarrassed to talk about their concerns of sexual health. This is due to the cultural beliefs, taboo, and values such as little to no discussions about contraception, because in some cultures it is taboo. This results in the individuals having less healthy behaviors, poor health status in general, and the safety and security of individuals who have migrated from a third world country due to sexual violence inequalities and may have an STD untreated upon arrival. Economic factors. Areas of high socioeconomic areas may have a greater health outcome due to the access of optimal healthcare services, experiences, and outcomes, as opposed to young people who live in low socioeconomic areas likely do not have the same services as do those with a high socioeconomic status, therefore tend to ignore the risks, treatments, and knowledge of sexual healthcare services, therefore are being more exposed and are at risk of transmission. The barriers that may prevent behavior change. The societal normalities and attitudes create a placebo effect on others. It is based on self-belief, selfishness, and false information provided by young people. To support this, individuals had described in a confidential short answer survey the societal normalities and attitudes they support. 96% of the individuals had described that condom use does not give the same amount of pleasure as opposed to unprotected sex. 2% of the individuals had argued that classroom discussions about poor safe sex consent and prevention of STDs resulting to individuals not knowing the risk of treatments. This is due to the different learning environments and correct delivery of safe sex education that provides adolescents with formative information or no information due to self-belief, values, class, or religions. And lastly, 2% of the individuals stated that alcohol and drug use impairs the individual decision making, therefore, their ability to give consent is taken advantage of due to easy opportunities. Awareness. Sexual health practitioners and Australian Health Department websites such as PlaySafe, Family Planning NSW, and the Victorian Refugee Network provide useful, interactive, and confidential information and advice to those who are seeking. These websites provide live chats, calls, and educational information that is accurate and promotes safe sex practices and the risks of STDs. Free services such as Headspace, school counselors, and sexual health clinics provide free contraception, fact sheets in multiple languages, interpreters, if English isn't their first language, on-site nurses and doctors that can discuss optimal sexual health and also addresses their implications if risky decisions are made. To improve prevention, more sexual health clinics are passionate about nurses and doctors and should branch out clinics and services closer to those who are unable to travel or have low socioeconomic status by scheduling at schools free sex education programs that are accurate and safe for the environment.